What's going on my anime lovers out there? It's your man Takame Love Anime back with another episode, and you can see by the title, today we'll be covering Zom 100 episode 2. Before we get started, please consider like, comment, subscribing. All that will really be appreciative on this channel, as well as I have an ASMR channel down below if you are interested in that. This episode off. So we start off episode 2 by seeing Akira in the office again, with the CEO kind of just giving demands as the ties start, the feeling starts to change in the office as he's banging his hands, he's calling orders. You get to see blood. The office people in the chairs are starting to turn red. It's starting to get the feel of the zombie outbreak. We get a little bit further into the episode and we see that Akira is having a dream to realize that it is actually real what happened the day before, that he doesn't have to go to work. We get to see his room again, and he gets into the mood to be happy that he doesn't have to go to work. So he starts cleaning his room, throw the bags off of the little balcony to the zombies to hit them, to make the most out of the situation. This is one of the things at the beginning that I love about this series, even going into episode 2. To be in a situation like that, the man is making the most of absolutely everything. A simple day for him is to be able to sit there, day drink, and enjoy his time. To a lot of people that sounds crazy, but to some people that might just be an absolute beautiful day and not have to worry about anything. And to see him be in that type of light and to see his demeanor change within so much of a short time was something that I really enjoyed, and I thought that was pretty cool. The man had 2 beers and he ran out. He had to go make a beer run. So as he's getting ready to make a beer run, he's going down, and we get to see a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Kosaka in their apartment next to his, kind of be scared and feel like this is the very end. They go on to the balcony, and as he's going out looking, they see Akira going down the pipe, and they're just like, are you okay? Like, do you need help? He's like, no, I'm going to the convenience store. Y'all need anything if something? Like, please, yeah. She's like, 2-ply. Oh yeah, get us some lights, batteries, this, that, and just normal survival stuff. He's like, cool, okay, I got you. So as he's going into the convenience store, he has his bike. He realizes to himself, he's like, man, this is kind of tough. I don't know if I'll be able to get through here. It's more zombies than it's been the first day, because of course a lot of other people have kind of perished at this point. So there's been a lot more people converted to zombies. So he's making his way there, kind of just having the same demeanor that he's always had, just going toward. So we get to see him pull up to 11-7. Must be some hidden. I ain't never heard of 11-7. I gotta check it out. It's definitely better than 7-Eleven. I know that for sure. So we get to see Akira run into, which seems to be another main character. They have not said her name yet, but you can see that there was a camera on her bike which surveyed the area to show something, which I thought was pretty impressive. And I kind of figured at the first I was like, what is that? You get to see him go in, and you get to see her actually getting supplies as he's going in. He's like, oh, it's a survivor, and she's a pretty survivor. Let me try to make small talk as I go in. So he's there getting beer, and he sees her getting chicken, all other types of foods, water, batteries, just anything that your typical normal survivor would get. She's looking at him in just complete, utter weirdness and disgust, because she tells him that his priorities aren't straight. You came out here and risked your life for beer, let alone for nothing else. What happens when your beer runs out? What are you gonna eat, or what are you gonna do? You're worried about just simply that. He's like, priorities? What? We'll speak about this a little bit further on, but you can tell from this point on that these two priorities are different. One person is to just live through the moment because of what that person went through, being Akira, and us not knowing enough about the woman just yet. but her having her priorities stuck upon survival. As she's getting ready to leave, she tells him that she wouldn't team up with somebody like that because all they're gonna do is lower her survival rate. As it starts to see, oh, there's zombies coming in. There's noise and made it seem like made too much noise, and the zombies followed over to this point. Time to get out. She's looking on her phone at this moment. We don't know exactly what she's looking at. The zombies start to come in, and Akira steps in front to try to save her. Turns out she grabs him, saves him, because a zombie driver ran into the convenience store, which showed that like she's one step ahead at all times, which was nice to see because you could tell with a character like this, to me seems like she's going to be portrayed as the quiet but nice demeanor character once you get to know her, that is quick-witted, and that's going to be the one to kind of get the group out of the stuff that we need. So these are the two characters that we've seen. Akira, her, I don't know her name just yet. I don't want to spoil it for myself, so I haven't looked it up. And then we have two other characters that we're going to see, a group of 4. So as he's done, he's going back to his apartment, and he stops to try to check on Mr. and Mrs. Kosaki. Their apartment is broken into, it's completely bloody. He took it into consideration that they probably have died, been attacked by zombies, and he goes back and he states the same thing. Literally, he dies today or dies in 60 years, you still wouldn't be able to do everything he wanted at this very moment. So then we get to see him go back to his book and write down absolutely all the things that he wants to do on his bucket list before he turns into a zombie. So they gave us a couple of the things that we've seen, couple other stuff I couldn't really translate, so I didn't know exactly what those were, but I will tell you the ones that they told us. So number 1 was confess to a girl. Number 2 is clean his room. 3 is loaf around and drink a beer. 4 is ride a motorcycle. 5 is get dreads. 1 was wine and dine. Another one was wine and dine. 17 is ride in an RV. 18 is go to a stay at home. 31 was spend time with his parents. 32 is best bud. And 33 was meet a girl of his dreams, which was his. He kind of got to that point and he stopped. We'll probably get to know his rest of his bucket list later on. This is the part in the episode that got extremely interesting, and I liked this aspect that brought it all together, is that now we got to see the girl wake up. She woke up at the same exact time as he did, that he's been waking up for work at 6 a.m. First you thought it was actually him until you seen her. So we're like, okay, it's her. She wakes up at 6 a.m. to work out. She takes all her vitamins. She's in shape. When we first see her, she's in her workout gear. She's staying active, running 10 kilometers a day to start her day off. And then we get to see the contrast between her and him. She's sitting at the stand, eating, trying to stay up on everything that she possibly can of what's going on in the world and making sure she's staying up on her agenda. We get to see her list. Her list is 100 ways to survive. His is 100 things to do before becoming a zombie. I thought that was the coolest thing of this episode so far, because we got to see two people's perspective. One person that is dedicated to surviving and another person that is dedicated to getting the most out of this situation, regardless of what happens. That is amazing. This show has been showing so much realism and has a way deeper concept than all of us would have thought. This show is going to age so well, and I feel like this has so many life lessons in it that really needs to be talked about, and I'm definitely going to go back and vouch for it once the season is over and speak about this a lot more. And then we get to see her planning out what are the areas that are not least infected that she can go to. Her just playing it completely smart. Her bike, just absolutely everything she can. This is where she ran into him. She's seen him come in. She's seen the zombies follow him. She heard the horn. She's seen the car before the car came. Everything up to that point, she's seen it and she was aware of this. She realized before he came in who she was, so she was just trying to analyze it and pick apart what kind of person he was and what the situation was going to occur to, which her being multiple steps ahead. See her kind of glance over the mochi, which kind of foreshadowed another thing of her perspective of him, even though she did not want to be around him and she left him where she was for him to get out of there and do what he was going to do. She was drawn to herself that she should have just got the mochi, because one of her things was lower her sugar intake so she doesn't get overweight, so she doesn't slow herself down. But to be on a strict thing, she's living to a point to where she's living to live, but she's not living for within herself to enjoy the time that she has and do the best that she possibly can. So that mochi took that upon her. So I think later on she will definitely indulge in that, because that's the one thing she took from him. He went out to get the most out of his situation. The beer is what made him happy. She's realizing to herself and trying to think, how can beer make one person this happy in a situation like this? Which is the message in this show that I love, is that you can make the most out of any situation, doesn't matter what it has to be. And Akira is showing that as a character, and that is contagious, and it's gonna rub off to her pretty soon. Just as much as I love the intro, we also got to see the outro. The outro fits so much better. I love the outro a little bit more than I like the intro. Maybe the intro has to grow on me, but the outro was amazing. I'm always a big lover and a believer when it comes to a show. Intro and outro, you watch it to get the mood set for the show. So I'm excited to see those going on pretty soon. The outro, just like I said, I loved it. We got to see the other characters. We got to see a lot of aspects before they even happened. Episode 3, I'm excited for. I can't wait to see exactly what happens if we get to figure out her name. We get to see the other people. But let me know what you thought down below. Did you enjoy this episode? Did you also pick up those cues of what was going on? Are you excited for the next couple of episodes of Zom 100? If this is your first time coming across the series, let me know what you thought of it. But it's been your man, Takami Love Anime. Keep watching some anime. Let me know what y'all thought below. I'll talk to y'all later. Stay nerdy.